In our first segment, we visit the Instituto Laboral de la Raza's 2007 Labor Awards dinner, where we'll hear from two of the prominent recipients of this year's award, Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives, and Anna Berger, General Secretary-Treasurer of SEIU, the Service Employees International Union. The Instituto is a nonprofit workers' resource center with offices in San Francisco and Oakland, California, with a 25-year history of providing labor rights education and legal advocacy for all low-income workers. The Labor Awards Dinner is the Instituto's major annual fundraising event to raise much-needed capital for the important services of this vitally important community organization.
Thank you from the Instituto Laboral de la Raza. Thank you for supporting our dinner, and thank you for supporting our organization. Thank you for coming out to see the speaker tonight. Thank you. Thank you for coming out to see Anna Berger tonight. Anna Berger, Labor Leader of the Year. Anna, we all came to see you. This party is for you. My partner in the Instituto. It's been a lifelong struggle with my brother and my partner and my friend and our president, Jaime Gonzalez. Yes, thank you. Thank you, my brother. Without further ado, the woman, tonight is for you, Anna. And thank you for going on so long. Anna Berger, Change to Win, SEIU.
Hey! Good evening, everybody. And I just first want to thank the Instituto for the honor and for all the hard work that you do. For Dan and Jaime for your leadership, but for the Instituto who actually goes into neighborhoods and organizing workers and gives them a voice, people who need it the most. I want to thank my Change to Win family, my SEIU family, and I also want to acknowledge, yes, out there, I also want to acknowledge the members of the Mexican consulate who are with us today, because we want to open a better dialogue so that we can partner and figure out how we can work across borders. I am proud to accept this honor on behalf of all Change to Win, but really on behalf of people who step up and step out every single day in the fight for justice for working people. We know that we are all here because we are motivated to reclaim the American dream. We are all stepping up and doing our part, and we all know that elected officials need to do their part too. But the reality is, sisters and brothers, there are still too many elected officials who aren't doing their part. And I think that that's what the last November election was all about. Across this country, working people came out and voted for candidates who supported us. And as a result, we actually won on election day. Now in California, I know it wasn't quite as even as you would have liked it to be, but the truth is across our country, we elected the majority of governors who work and support working families. We turned over state legislative bodies so that we now have the power to get our agenda done. And the winds of change blew across this country. And as they grew stronger and stronger, we went deeper and further, and we were able to win the House and win the Senate in this country, again, for working families. And that makes a huge difference. We saw Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, because of the work that we did. And that makes a huge difference. It makes me proud as a woman. It makes me proud as an activist. But it really makes me proud because what she's done already is to put workers back on the center of the agenda, openly and unapologetically. And now she needs us on her side to make sure that the rest of those elected officials stand with us and do right by us too. Are you ready to do it? Together we can reclaim the American dream. We can rebuild the American middle class. We can give our kids a better life. We can make work pay once again in America. Sisters and brothers, I ask you to join me in that struggle because together we can make a difference. Thank you.
I'd also like to call up to the stage now somebody who's going to make a very special presentation. He's our 31st treasurer, and I've walked 18 picket lines with him just when he was Attorney General. My brother, our treasurer, Bill Lockyer.
Thank you, Dan. Brothers and sisters, it's a pleasure to be with you. Congratulations, Instituto. I'm proud to introduce someone who's always been with us, representing San Francisco for 19 years in the Congress, a leader in the area of health care, human rights, labor policy. We were so proud to see her become the first woman Speaker of the United States of America, Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all very much. Thank all of you and congratulations to the Instituto Laboral de la Raza for 25 years of leadership in our community to help working families. The leverage has changed in Washington. We have gone from a Republican majority whose goal, without any question, was to concentrate the wealth and power of America into the hands of the fewest, wealthiest people. But those days are over. And we have already begun. In our first 100 hours, this Congress voted on the second day to raise the minimum wage. And that's just the beginning. We will be taking up Congress Chairman now, George Miller's bill for card check. The employer-free, that bill that says that any worker in America, now 50 million or 54 million, some number like that, people in America have said that they wanted to belong to a union if they could belong to a union. This legislation will enable them to check off and belong to a union. I've also communicated to the Ways and Means Committee that right away we want to eliminate incentives. Imagine in the tax code there are incentives to companies to send jobs overseas. That will be repealed. But these and other initiatives that will help America's working families are our priorities. Important to all of that, and all of you here this evening, is that we can work in a bipartisan way with the President and soon to pass a bipartisan comprehensive immigration bill that will allow for a path to legalization for people who are in our country. And that is very, very important priority for us. Of course, the Instituto has played a very important role bringing the AFL and the Change to Win all together to make so much of this possible. Much has been said in Washington about ethics, and we are holding this Congress to the highest ethical standard. But the biggest ethical challenge facing our country right now is this war in Iraq. We have a situation where so much that we would want to do at home is left undone because this has cost us now about $1 trillion. But that's not the most of it. Over 3,000 of our young people dead, tens of thousands wounded, some of them permanently, loss of reputation, loss of readiness. We must end this war so that we can focus on the real priorities here at home. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Jaime. I thank all of you. Thank you to the Instituto for this award. I will display it with great pride in the Speaker's office as a constant reminder of the work that all of you do, that the leadership you provide, of the needs of working families in our country, and that the struggle is a long one. We will not be satisfied until we are finished. Si se pueda. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you all.
It's because of your support that we're able to stay open for 25 years. I love you all. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening and a good weekend.